What's up, everybody? It's your boy Don Walk, and I wanted to give my thoughts again on this AI music controversy. You know, there's a lot of people upset about it. I know I'm probably beating a dead horse because it's been the talk for a very long time. And the premise is that, you know, these AI companies scrape the internet and streaming services to train their AI models without paying artists. Some even say they went as far as stealing from artists. You heard the argument. But anyhow, the other day I was watching a YouTuber that I like watching. He is a popular YouTuber, has an excellent mixing and mastering channel, and I still believe that he is a great guy, but I disagreed with him on something he said. He said that AI has no place in the arts, okay? But he says AI is okay in medical advancement, sciences and analysis, manufacturing, and engineering. And I found that to be very hypocritical, and here's why. I'm not a professional musician, and I must admit, my reason for doing music of any sort is more therapeutic for me, because I know that a lot of the music that I make don't resonate with most people. You know, it's not at the same level of quality as people that are out there, but I just want to be able to share my thoughts, my creativity, and express myself, especially in a stressful world. But this is why I disagree with him. I have a degree in electronics, and when I started my career, I started it in the semiconductor industry. And I do know what it feels like when all of a sudden an industry is ripped away from you. I know some of these artists are saying, you know, it's a low barrier to entry. They're going to be diluting the quality of works, and certainly those fears are true, you know, because some people don't care as long as they can jump on the bandwagon and make something. If it catches on, they make a quick buck. That's the thinking of a lot of people. But what do you expect in a capitalistic society that promotes money, 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 money? But anyway, I remember when a lot of these companies made a mass exodus overseas or replaced a lot of workers with automation. And it's even so now you hear about companies laying off, and their excuses is AI, and we know that not all the reasons why they're laying off is because of AI. That's been kind of like the scapegoat, but there have been some companies that have implemented AI in certain services and people have lost their jobs. And I'm like, well, so it's okay for people like me who went to school, to had to agonize to learn about circuit analysis, circuit troubleshooting, and learn about how to fix robotic arms and things to be replaced, but it's not okay when it comes to the arts. Look, I get it, and I do understand where a lot of these artists are coming from, but you can't take a hard stance when it comes to you, but say it's okay when it comes to other people. What about all those medical professionals who went for 12 plus years of grueling education to learn certain things, but because this company found that AI can do this or that, they'll replace certain doctors or PhD level scientists for the sake of AI, or those workers that learn these particular skills, but they get replaced by robotic arms. Now, I understand that technology is going to advance, and there's, you know, because I've been seeing this big swap with automation since I started my career. Heck, it started way back in the 70s on production lines in automobile factories. But I don't think that anyone should take a stance that says, well, it's okay for you, but not for me. Because there's a lot of people right now losing their jobs behind AI, whether those companies are really implementing AI or not. And you got some artists crying about, you know, these AI companies possibly scraping the streaming service to train their models. These people, a lot of these people are millionaires already, right? And but the vast majority of these artists, you know, the music business has not been a big money maker for anyone for a long time, unless you're touring and doing things like that, because that's something that AI will never replace. And I think attacking a technology to me is kind of a waste of time, because I've had my time with attacking advancement of technology. I was like, what about us? You know, what about us? We went to school to do these certain things, and you're just going to replace us with some machine or with some algorithm, right? You know, but no one can replace a human playing instruments live before an audience. And I'm not saying that artists are making a big deal out of nothing. I'm not saying that. But, you know, say if AI music floods streaming, right? And just like everything else, you know, people get disinterested in streaming, or streaming becomes like elevator music. But those artists that play live, and there's always going to be a crowd that want to see live music. Heck, I like live music more than recorded music. That's just the facts. I enjoy using AI tools. I like some of the AI music, but when it comes down to it, nothing beats a good show. Nothing beats a good show. And these artists are complaining about streaming services which don't pay the vast majority of these people anything, when they can make a lot of money off of performing live. But me, if they wanted to replace my job, what am I going to do? I mean, here I am with skills in electronics or software development, but hey, you know, this algorithm can do it better than you, right? So I think some of these artists need to focus on providing equity to their audiences through live performances. Because to be quite honest, man, you know, recorded music has been trash for the most part for a long time, except for a few artists. A lot of these companies craft music and package it in a way to make a buck, not for real creativity. And those that are really creative, and because there are some creative individuals that make music, get pushed to the back because it doesn't push all the buttons for the algorithm, right? And so, anyway, I know I've been ranting on. And again, I'm not belittling anyone's feelings and thoughts about AI and music and art, but I think that it's really hypocritical to say, well, AI is okay to eliminate jobs in this area, but it's not okay when it comes to this. And then I know you have some of these deep thinking folks that say, well, music is spiritual and it comes from the soul. And I get that. Because music to me is therapy. That's why I do it. I make it. You know I don't have a snowball chance in hell of becoming a famous artist, and I'm not even worried about that, right? I'm not even pursuing trying to get a big record deal or anything like that. I mean, that's not even in my thinking. But, you know, how can you dismiss people who work their butts off in other fields that are being affected by AI, but when it comes to you, it's okay? That's BS. A bunch of BS. Because eventually, here's the deal. Right now, AI tools, I still think are in their infancy. I think Suno is fun, but Suno still has a long way to go. And the way most people that really are into music use Suno is just for ideas, and they recreate it. And there are a lot of people that just take it for what it is and they just put stuff out there. But for most of us, we know it's not there. We know it's a machine. So we just glean ideas from it, right? But there's going to come a time where AI is going to be able to do a mastering engineer's job flawlessly. It's going to be able to do music flawlessly without all the crazy artifacts. I mean, it's going to get to that. I think we are a ways away from that. I think that by the time when that comes around, I'm 56 now. I'm probably going to be in my 80s or something. I know some people saying, "Oh, it's going to be faster." Nah. There's a lot of limitations, but for the most part, I think that at least I say this. I'll probably be in my late 60s, early 70s before it could get to that point. But anyhow, I'm going to let you guys go. Share your thoughts about what I said, and if you agree, disagree, I get it. You know, I'm not asking people to agree with me, but I just had to state my case as a professional in a different industry that has been affected by automation and now AI, right? And I find it very offensive to say, well, it's okay if you're replaced by AI, but it's not okay for you as a recording artist or an engineer to be replaced by AI. I just think that's the wrong way of looking at it. It's unfortunate for anyone who's affected by AI, but the bitter truth is technology is advancing, and we have to learn how to adapt and put our own originality in coupled with these technologies, because it's not going to stop. No matter how much you complain right now, you can't copyright AI music, but that's all going to change. There was a lot of stuff you couldn't do in the past that you could do now, right? And things are going to change, you know, whether you like it or not. It is going to change whether you agree with it or not. Whether I agree with it or not, that's immaterial, because as time progressed, technology progressed, people's way of thinking change. And that's all I have to say. Until next time, see you on the next one. Peace.